I'm Tino Outlet, and this is
David the Pangolin, and we are
Pop Chart Reviews.
Reviews.
We're committed to the highest standard of enjoyable and at times hilarious podcasts. They were the best of songs, they were the worst of songs,
And we decide to keep them or leave them. Welcome everyone. The songs we will be covering are, let's see, Laugh Now, Cry Later by Drake. I Hope, the remixed with Charlie Puth. I think it's Puth.
Yeah. Yeah, Charlie Puth.
Puth. Be Like That by...
Be Like That by Kane Brown with Sway Lee and Khalid.
Yeah, those people. ILY by, of course, everyone's favorite band, Frank Valli and the Four Seasons. Oh wait, no, it's Surf Mesa and Who Cares. Tap In by who?
Tap In by Saweetie with an A in there.
That is very weird. Put Your Records On, comparing the versions of Rit Momney and, let's see, what's her name? Corrine
Bailey Ray.
Corrine Bailey Ray, thank you. And then Kings and Queens by Ava Max.
Okay, so I think we should just get right into it.
So we're going to start with Laugh Now, Cry Later by Drake.
Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but I guess...
Okay, so the problem I have with this song, I like it when it's on in the car and I'm not really paying attention, or when it's on in the background when I'm doing, schoolwork or something. I don't like this song just sitting down and listening to it.
Yes, because it's 4.5 minutes long of Drake lazily just rapping over the same looped beat, where the only difference is randomly the bass just kicks up out of nowhere, and then Lil Durk shows up for a verse. And I mean, I remember when this song came out, and I was like, hey, this song is boring, but at least the music video is funny. Listening to it as just a song is just boring.
Yeah.
And so I do not enjoy the process of hearing it, especially since it's 4.5 minutes long. Like, jeez, am I the only one who remembers a Drake who is like cool and suave and everything, but still had like reasonable lengths for songs? Like, yeah, he did have like Forever, which went on for like 5.5 minutes, but that's because he had a bunch of guest people on it.
And a fitting name, because it goes on forever.
I guess. But he used to have like these big radio hits, and they were all like these huge smashes, and they weren't very irritating or boring to listen to, most of them.
I loved God's Plan. I loved that song.
I think out of the number one hits he got in 2018, the one I probably like the most is Nice for What, because of the dance beat behind that beat is eternal. Don't at me. Let's see. And then like something around 2013, something happened in which he just kind of gave up with the cool swagger and started like reverting to very basic topics, very basic writing. And that's the reason why a lot of people don't like Drake, is because he makes these pretty basic songs next to these good songs. So it's like it's a very disparaging gap. You have either boring slow songs, or you have good songs very rarely. And it's just because he produces so much music in such a short amount of time. Most of his mixtapes and albums are 90 minutes or longer. And some of them produce tons of hits, that disappear in a short amount of time. Or they could be like Scorpion, where suddenly you have 3 number 1 hits all in succession. Or it could be like none of that, and then just have Tootsie Slide for a week, and then a couple other songs in the top 10, but then nothing else until months later when you're doing collaborations with DJ Khaled, which were boring songs. So this is why I don't like this song, is because it's basically the boiled down amalgamation of all of that boring into one song. It's all built up to this. And I wish he would go back to the days where, even if his lyrics weren't that good, he was still suave about it. Now he's just...
Okay, to summarize your long, spontaneous essay there, leave. Leave.
Yeah, leave.
Okay, then, our next song is I Hope, and I hope this one's better.
And it's the remix version, by the way, because the original did not have Charlie Puth.
Yes.
Okay, so first off, I just want to say that I was actually into this song before it was a hit.
The first time I heard the song, I was doing chores and I was just listening to songs. And I was not impressed. But hearing it more, this song is pretty good. Without Charlie Puth.
I like the original version without Charlie Puth because here's the thing. So, Charlie Puth was an internet comedian who has perfect pitch, which basically means that whenever he sings slightly off key, he gets really angry with himself. And so what he did was he found good old Melodyne and Auto-Tune. He didn't found them, he just happened to, I guess, find okay. So anyways, he uses his pitch correction to make sure that he gets the right note. The only problem is that I don't think he was in charge of the pitch correction on this specific song, because that auto-tune on the chorus is not in the right, I guess, frequency maybe as the actual.
There's something off about it.
It's like it's trying to do the talk box thing, but it's not strong enough to do that. It's like somewhere in the middle of normal auto-tune and talk box share effect. So it just sounds a bit awkward with it. And I'd imagine like him hearing that on the radio and just like going insane. But yeah, I love the original version. And last year I actually heard the song before and I thought, wow, this is a pretty good song. I remember it came on when my mother was in the car with me, and she was like, this is a very interesting song. And I said, yeah, this is like the most country song I've heard this year, or something like that, on on pop radio. And so she was like, wow, I never would have thought of this as a country song. And taking it from that angle, I think that she's partly right. It's partly a country song, that's partly not a country song. It's kind of like a thing all of its own, like Old Town Road was last year, it being its whole country rap hip-hop thing. It's like that, except it's not hip-hop, but it's some sort of other genre. It's like alternative country.
It's not even quite pop country. Another problem I have with this song is when Charlie Puth comes in. So in the original, she's kind of complaining, you cheated on me, I hope the same thing happens to you. But when he comes in, now I could be wrong about this, but I'm just assuming that he's supposed to be the person that she's complaining about. He's then saying,
yeah, and
they're both cheating. then the song doesn't
Yeah,
really make
so-
sense.
That was something that I thought was really weird when I heard the Charlie Puth remix. For the first time I heard that, and I was like, wait a minute. If a man is on the song and she's singing about a man, does that mean that she's kind of calling the kettle black? And then, like, I thought about it some more, and then I was like, wait a minute. The fact that they're singing together means that they are probably just people in the same situation. But man, did they did not make that very clear. It seems very the remix is kind of pointless. The only reason that it's there is because Charlie Puth probably he wanted a paycheck and she wanted a guest verse, and it's the version that the public gravitated to. So who knows? I'm far off.
But, so,
Uh,
keep or leave.
and probably keep because I still like the song. Yeah.
Okay, now we're doing Be Like
I
That.
do would be like that.
Sometimes it be like that.
Alright, thoughts?
Very pretty melody, very well produced. It's very nice hearing a traditional folk country song on like regular pop radio. I do have one question though. Like, I've heard this on the radio exactly one time. And I didn't...
Really? I've heard it more than that.
Huh?
I've heard it a lot more than that.
And so I'm wondering... Like, so I haven't listened to it that much. Like, I haven't, like, gone out and seeked it out very often. But then, like, so I haven't really, like, paid attention to the lyrics, but... Is it just me, or does it sound like, one, they're either singing to each other, or two, they're blowing off their dates, and then blaming it on them, and then immediately going back to saying we're both crazy?
I guess it could be interpreted that way, yeah.
Because, like, I might be better
On my own,
I hate you blowing
up my phone,
I went and I never
met your
Sometimes it'd be like that. I'm not myself, the nights you're gone. There ain't no way I'm moving on. I'm afraid to need you bad. Sometimes it'd be like that.
I'm not
And
afraid
then-
to need you bad.
Oh, I'm not afraid to meet. I thought you said that. And then Sway Lee. Let's see. You said something that was like really weird. I swear I'd rather
be your friend,
I said I'm gonna
be right back,
It hurts sometimes. It
be like that.
I think Sway Lee's part is the most memorable of that song.
Yeah, is it just me, or is the phrase, I said I'm gonna
Be right back,
it hurts sometimes, it...
be like that.
Did he just get up and ditch his date?
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what I see it as. So
Yeah,
it can be interpreted like that, yes.
Why? He gave no reason to, besides in the chorus, which came later, that she keeps nagging him, but, like, wow, you both are insane. She's nagging you nonstop, and you are just disappearing out of thin air while you guys are in the middle of a gathering or a date or just a meeting of some sort. Without any word besides, I'll be right back. Like, wow. Overall, I'd keep it because it is a very pretty melody.
Very pretty, and I think the way it kind of layered at the beginning was really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, time for a song that rivals Savage Love, ILY.
Repetition, killing brain cells.
Like I said just before the song started, song rivals Savage Love because it's terrible.
Yeah. They might as well have just done a cover of Ring My Bell.
One problem I have with the song is that it is super repetitive. Like, literally, get this. This is all they say, over and over and over and over. I love you,
Like
baby, and if it's quite alright, I need you, baby, to warm these lonely nights. I love you, baby, trust me when I say I love you. Over and over and over and over, my brain starts to hurt after 1 minute.
like that is just can't. Here's what I don't get is these TikTok songs, what their samples and covers and everything. People start thinking that they are the original version of a song that is perfectly fine and may well be a masterpiece of decades prior. Like, for example, this one is a clear sample of Frankie Valli's Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, which is a song that I'm sure all of us probably know or have heard at some point. And so the chorus that goes as I love you, baby, and if it's quite alright, I need you, baby, to warm my lonely nights. I love you, baby, trust in me when I say, oh, pretty baby, don't bring me down, I pray. Oh, pretty baby, now that I found you, stay, and let me love you, baby, let me love you. And so that song, while it might seem a bit creepy, the verses are actually kind of romantic, in a way. If not a bit stalkerish if you read too much into them. But it was the 60s, every song sounded creepy and stalkerish. And, like, for example, like this is just that chorus played over and over, and I could feel my brain cells dying. It reminds me a lot of Ring My Bell by Anita Ward, which most of that song is literally, you can ring my bell, ring my bell, ring my bell, ding dong ding. You can ring my bell, ring my bell, ring my bell, ring a ring a ring. You can ring my bell, ring my bell, ring my bell, ding dong ding, etc., etc., etc. And the scary part is that song actually has verses.
So, I'm glad you said something about the TikTok thing, because not too much hate to TikTok, but all my least favorite songs started with you. Now, there's a couple good songs that you have popularized, but it's few and far between.
Like, for example, I kind of liked Tootsie Slide in a sort of it's so bad it's good way. Either that, like I've never used TikTok before in my life, and I'm not really planning on using TikTok, because all the good TikToks usually just get re-uploaded to YouTube, which I do use, and so I have no reason to specifically use TikTok. And so, just because of that, I'd have no experience with these songs until they show up on the pop charts extremely high, because everyone's doing some weird dance craze to them, which this has been a thing for almost a decade at this point. Let's see, I know specifically half a decade ago we had Musical.ly and Vine, which are two apps that everyone's forgotten about at this point. And then
Vine especially, no one remembers Vine.
Yeah. Vine produced a bunch of big hits because if you played a song there, even though it was only a 6-second clip, it still counted as a stream. And so, like, then you got, like, weird songs like Coco, Juju on That Beat, and weird stuff like that. And then, like, that weird one, T-Wayne Nasty Freestyle, the one where he says that something about sitting like a horse, something like that. But anyways, it was a silly little trend that got big and spawned a bunch of memes that people reenacted in real life without cameras, which I remember being really weird and awkward. But then Musical.ly came around, and I remember that being really big. Like, people would just use Musical.ly. I know people who had Musical.ly t-shirts. And then suddenly Musical.ly disappeared and got replaced by TikTok, which bought Musical.ly not too long later. And then it's just been downhill ever since. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. The TikTok craze, I'm sorry to say, TikTok fans, but I hope it goes away soon. Because all it's done is spawn pretty much cheap songs.
or very funny memes involving Trump rallies. You gotta admit, those were pretty funny.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next one.
We did
it's
not say
Tap In,
keep or
right?
leave, but I think we already know we're gonna say leave.
Yes.
Tap
Okay,
in,
so
yes, is
one's
next.
Tap In, right?
Yes.
Yay.
Low waist fat. Tap in.
So, I'm just gonna outright say this. I'd actually never heard the non-clean version, and even hearing them, the clean version makes more sense. It's just, the changes of the words, if they don't mean exactly the same thing, they sound a little better to me.
Well, here's the thing.
There's some songs that is not true, but
like for
with
example,
this one it works.
Here's something that so I looked up the song. I went on Wikipedia and I looked up the song. And guess what I learned? This song is basically the so you remember Dr. Luke?
No, when was that?
Let's see, really late 2000s, early 2010s, he did a lot of production work. And then
Okay.
it turns out that he did some very, very bad things to Kesha Offset. Apparently this is his resurgence after the assault lawsuit, and apparently he also produced Doja Cat's Say So and Juice WRLD's song Wishing Well. But this apparently was his first single in a while before he even did those songs. So I thought that was very, very interesting.
Anything else to say about this song?
I don't know why there seems to be a trend of being in a romantic relationship with this boy and then immediately ask him for the money. I remember there was a time when people made fun of gold digger sugar daddies, but I don't get it. This is a trend. This is something that I've noticed is happening more and more often in pop songs. And why? In a song that has nothing else to do with that. So yeah, I really like the beat behind it, so maybe if it had a couple more rewrites, maybe I might keep it, but I'm gonna leave it for right now.
For now, leave it. Maybe someone will come out with a pretty nice remix.
Like a remix or something.
Okay. We're gonna compare. So this is kind of special, where we kind of changed the theme in the middle of the episode, but we're gonna do a little comparison. We kind of just did a comparison with clean version and non-clean version, but you know, this is different. So we're gonna
right
do the
now-
Rit Momney. Weird name.
Which totally isn't similar to Mitt Romney.
Anyway,
Makes you
the
think.
Rit Momney version versus the
Corinne Bailey Ray.
version. So we're gonna listen to the original, which is not the Rit Momney one, because that's the one that's currently popular on Guess What?
Let me guess, is it Musically? Or is
Hmm.
it Vine?
Ooh.
Or is it TikTok?
Yeah. Okay, anyway, here we go.
Put your records on.
Okay, and now that we've heard that one, let's listen to the new one.
I don't care for the second one.
No. The first one is quite good. Listening to it, it's a happy song. The "you're gonna find yourself somewhere somehow" kind of sounds like a friendly aside. Whereas in the second one, it sounds slightly menacing.
So here's the thing. The talk box auto-tune melodyne whatever effect is something that can be used right and that it can be used like this. This is not the right effect. You had like these weird tinkling music box instrumentals or something in the background, and it does not fit very well in to your auto-tuned vocals, especially during the bridge where it goes like
Another problem I have
And-
with the song is the original. It stays like it gets more upbeat at the end. It's like more exciting. This one, it's like
it builds.
slow.
So here's the thing. The original is structured like a song. It has a verse, chorus structure, and the chorus builds on itself to reach the grand thesis statement at the very end. And even though the original didn't do too well on Billboard's Hot 100, it did very well on the adult contemporary charts. And because of that, that's the reason why most of us are familiar with the songs, because adult contemporary stations never forget. They always remember. And so I prefer the original, a song which, while I recognize it, I don't think I've heard that much. But the Rit Momney, his song is not corny, it's just it doesn't fit well with the talk box vocals. Like if he was doing like a raw vocal thing, I think that would work fine.
I'd be interested to see how that would sound because I might actually like it better. I think it's weird. I get it's a cover and it's supposed to sound different, but it sounds a
Like-
little too different.
Like I'm interested in hearing some other songs by this person, so that as to what we can see his normal music sounds like, or does all he do is covers?
I don't know.
Also, how are you supposed to dance to the Rit Momney version?
Do they?
It's a TikTok song,
Right.
so you're supposed to kind of do something to it, like you're lip syncing while you're dancing. Tell me your favorite song. So, I don't know. I'm leave the Put Your Records On with Rit Momney, and since Corinne Bailey Bailey, whatever her name was, it's not on the charts right now, so it kind of left itself, but I would rather keep it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say keep for that one too. Okay, time for the
Last song of the night.
last song of the night, Kings and Queens.
Woohoo!
If all of the kings had their queens on the throne.
I do not know what to think.
You're stuck
On
with
one
this one
hand-
too.
What do you say?
You're stuck with this one too?
Yeah, like, she got some solid burns in on there, but then she kind of stopped doing that, and supposedly this is supposed to be like an 80s throwback, and, yeah, I'm pretty sure that, Bon Jovi will want some revenue. 'Cause shot through the heart, and you're to blame, baby. Baby, you give love a bad name.
I remember you telling me about that now, and I always forget
And all
about
the
that, but now that I
queens
hear
had
it,
the-
you hear it. It's so
Yeah.
obvious. I'm gonna have to, like, when I edit this, I'm gonna have to splice them on top of each other, kind of. Well, here you go.
If all of the kings had their queens on the throne.
And all of the kings had their queens on the throne, and you give love a bad name.
I did like the educational part. It teaches you what a king and queen in chess does.
Yeah. But, like, reading this description of, like, her describing the song, she doesn't really describe it. She just says, basically, in a bunch of different ways, I feel like women can multitask. We are strong as women are strong as let's be real. If anyone disagrees with that, and you're out. Peace. We give birth. I mean, hello. What the? That chick is crazy. But she doesn't say who the crazy chick is in her description. But, yeah. Really weird. But, yeah, overall, I like it, though I felt like it kind of repeated itself a bit too much at the end. Like, if it was a bit shorter, then I would like it more.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna still keep it. It wasn't that bad.
Not that bad. Though you're totally right about that sample thing.
And also, it does actually sample some song. It was a Bonnie Tyler song.
I remember you telling me about that too. Like when you did the sample finder thing or whatever.
Yeah, let's see. King and Queens, who sampled? It says Bonnie Tyler's "If You Were a Woman and I Was a Man." So let's listen to that song.
Well, let's just look at the lyrics. Or do you think it's... I figured it was simple in the lyrics.
Well...
No, I don't see it.
Wait a minute. It says it's a direct sample, but then it says replayed sample of vocals and lyrics, so... Where?
Is it saying the lyrics are sampled?
Yeah.
I don't see that anywhere.
I mean, it's not saying vocal melody, it's saying vocals lyrics. Oh, wait a minute, maybe there's like something like background vocals, and maybe click on the video.
If you were a woman and I was a man.
Wow.
Well, there's your answer.
Well, that was definitive. There are a lot of songs that had the da 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 da. Like someone even commented, "Shot through the heart and you're to blame," which it doesn't. It makes sense. Bon Jovi, most of his big hits are ripped off of something. Like for example, and they're usually some sort of song that is like 10 times better. But yeah, this makes sense. I can't believe that I did not realize this before. Wow. For example, Bon Jovi's first single is based around a ripped keyboard riff, which he transposed to guitar, and it's basically identical to Billy Joel's All for Lena, a song that I love. So, yeah, I noticed that.
They were the best of songs. They were the worst of songs.
And we decided to keep them or leave them, or just leave TikTok altogether and the world will be a better place.
Okay, now, next scheduled podcast topic is a Halloween special. I'll explain that in the next podcast.
And also, and after that, I want to do something a bit special. After that, I want to review all songs kept off the #1 spot by Old Town Road during its 21 weeks at #1.
So all the number two songs?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So basically, those songs would have been #1 hits in 2019 if not for Old Town Road.
Okay, yeah, that'll be interesting to hear.
Or was it 19 weeks? Anyways, it was a really long span of time. Thank you for your patronage. We know there's a lot of other podcasts out there, and we are glad that you chose ours.
Any suggestions? Comment below.
This was Pop Chart Reviews. I'm David the Pangolin.
And I'm Tino Outlet.
If you like anime and abridges, check out Dragon Ball Abridged.
Stay tuned for the next episode. We hope to see you there.